Good evening, one and all, and welcome to episode 164 for Schnozzcast on Saturday, March 12th, 2022. This is Bob, joined by my co-hosts, Cory, Nick, Todd, and special guest this week, once again, Mr. Greg Gumtow. Jumping in the room. Tonight, what do we got for you tonight? We've got a little booze news, some airing of grievances, perhaps some 100 questions, gentleman's agreement, and pick of the week. Everybody, how are you?
A hearty, hollow, and well met, Bob.
That's the most formal response I've ever got. Todd, how are you, sir?
I'm still standing.
And special guest Greg Gumtow.
Yes, hello.
Another triumphant return. Return. And
Oh, hey.
and Mr. the man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it anyway. Cory Schnozzcast.
Oh, hey. Anyways, is Greg really a special guest anymore, or is he just a guest now?
I'm very special. People say it all the time.
What did the underscoring title say?
I think he just said guest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I always list you as special guest.
I appreciate that.
Isn't
problem, buddy.
special guest better than a guest?
It's like an old episode of The Love Boat where they had some sort of...
You lost me.
Yeah, I'm out.
James Garner was the special guest.
It's like a designated hitter.
Every clip we come up with is just going to be about Bob being old, and it's going to
Yes.
get...
Remember the honeymooners when they used to do that?
Yeah.
You dumb fucks have never heard of The Love Boat?
We've
Heard of it, yes.
yeah.
I've seen it in folklore.
It's a TV show that had special guests. That's all you need to know.
Was it in full color?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the first two seasons. After that,
It was before Fantasy Island.
No, you're thinking of Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Yeah. They started
Sure.
out black and white. Then they went to color. Bad news.
That's actually a good trivia question.
What's that?
What popular TV shows started in black and white and then went to color? I certainly wouldn't know the answer.
I feel like there's several.
There are several.
There has to be.
I also
right
feel
on
like
that.
Yeah.
I also feel like you're not asking that question to get an answer. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, that would be a good question.
No, I mean,
moving on.
something we should look up.
McHale's Navy.
I feel like Bonanza probably was in black and white at one point and had to go into color.
Man from
MASH.
Uncle, something like that.
No, not MASH.
MASH was always good.
No, not MASH.
Laverne and Shirley.
MASH.
You gotta pick shows that started in the late 50s and then went into the 60s.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So
Nick's an old soul, but not that old.
and now he realizes I didn't want an answer to that question.
No, I
just
do.
thought it was.
Don't be mad because you don't know the answer to that question.
No, I'm not mad because I don't know. There are a few that we could talk about.
I got one.
Okay.
Bewitched.
Yeah, I think that's probably.
I Love Lucy.
Damn it. That was
my God, I'm on a roll.
That was my only contribution, I think.
Dick Van Dyke Show.
No, I think I Love
Bewitched,
Lucy
I don't
was
think
always
so.
black and white. But
No.
then she did the Lucy show. There were like 4 different shows with Lucy.
Well,
Bewitched. I don't remember Sam being in black and white ever.
oh, yeah, Bewitched was in black and white. I'm relatively certain.
Maybe you had a black and white TV in your house.
That's why they. No. That's why the
Our TV was just never color.
you know the old adage of changing Darrens.
Yeah.
Darren was the original, and they were in black and white, I believe, at one point.
Well,
I think the original Darren was in black and white.
You might be right on that.
There are some.
I'll go to the
in
interwebs.
black and yeah. I went to the trusty Google.
This is where I'm like, man.
It wasn't black
if
and white?
we had like a giant fan base, they would be out there Googling the shit out of this and the texting in going like, you're right, you're wrong.
They should call that shocker line that's on all the time.
I think Roseanne started in black and white too.
Roseanne.
Now you're just pulling for strings, buddy.
Roseanne was like in 85 or 88. At a low budget.
We couldn't start in color.
Have we started already? Yes, we have. All right. So if you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining us. You can catch us here each and every week. On Friday, we release the episodes. Don't forget to like or subscribe so you'll be notified when we release a new one for the week. In the meantime, you can stream us on the social media services out on iTunes, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, or any else where you get a podcast. And guys, I'm so fucking excited that our logo issue on Apple Podcasts is now
It's about time, man. That was like that
resolved.
since we started on iTunes.
It's probably been the better part of a year that it's just been like the top half of the word Schnozzcast.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
You could tell it was Schnozzcast, but everything below that was black.
No, the people that knew what Schnozzcast is probably could tell it was Schnozzcast.
Yeah, anyone just scrolling through
Schno?
iTunes, they'd be like, well, why
Yeah.
did they just have half, or not even it was like a quarter
Things
of the
are going to
logo?
start happening for us now.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you never, if that's all it took, thank God.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding us back from being the top 10 of
what it is.
podcasts.
Crazier
Yep.
things have happened.
That was it.
Exactly.
All right, you can also follow us on social media on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube at Schnozzcast. You can also email us with your request for relationship advice or anything else you want to know out to schnozzcast@gmail.com. Or you can, as the good folks here mentioned, you can call or text us at 618-SHOCKER.
That's right, the Shocker line. It's open sometimes.
Almost 24/7.
It's open 23/6.
It's open 3/6/45.
It's on banker's hours.
I'll tell you this. First of all, you can always text or call. Texting is easier. We don't listen to a lot of voicemails. We get a lot of spam calls. But let us know who you are, because saying like hi or something is not going to really get a response.
Could be our that could be the fan base is those spam calls.
See, at this point, we would take a hi. If someone said hi, we'd be like, hey,
Exactly.
we got one.
Julia 4509. Hi back.
Yeah.
We would absolutely take that.
I don't know if people
We
can
would take
text
it.
with screen names, can they?
I'm sure that's how Julia 4509 would identify herself.
How'd you get that phone number? That's crazy. Must have paid a lot for that.
I had so Cory, did you have anything before housekeeping is over?
Ooh, excuse me.
Wow.
There it is.
Hey, yeah.
Ooh.
You had a prelude and the actual delivery.
Yeah.
Love it.
For housekeeping, the Kevin Smith podcast that you sent me.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, listen to our podcast first and foremost.
Oh, 100%.
But if you're looking for someone a little more famous,
Slightly.
the Smodcast, Bob sent me an episode of the Secrets of the Secret Stash. They did Comic Book Men on A&E or AMC, and they did a 2-part podcast with some of the guys from the show, Walt Flanagan, Mike Zapsik, and
Ming Chang.
he wasn't on the podcast actually. I was kind of hoping he was. But 2 great episodes, especially if you like Comic Book Men and you watch the show all the way through. This gives you an insight and the behind the scenes of how it all came to fruition, and all the way down to how they even were looking into getting the stores and all that. And the fact that Kevin bought that for Walt, that was pretty insane. I don't think I ever really knew that it was basically a gift to him. And Nick, you'll be happy to know that Brian Quinn. I didn't know Brian Quinn was actually supposed to be on Comic Book Men.
I love Brian Quinn.
Yeah.
He was one of the main running guys that was supposed to be on it. But Impractical Jokers was starting right around the time that Comic Book Men was starting to film, and Quinn had it written in his contract. Oddly enough, that if Comic Book Men took off and he wasn't able to do it because of Impractical Jokers, he would have to get paid for not being on Comic Book Men because of Impractical Jokers.
Huh.
So yeah, he made a very smart move by doing that, because otherwise, if Impractical Jokers didn't take off, he would have lost out on Comic Book Men too. So
Right.
but I would have loved to have seen him on the show.
Yeah.
I thought-
I miss Impractical Jokers.
Oh yeah,
It's not sitting well with me that their future is cloudy, that Joe had to walk away, and now we don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, they've already said that they're continuing on.
Yeah, but they haven't, and that's what's bothering
There
me.
was something I just saw the other day that said that the next
The other
season
day.
the next season starts very soon.
Oh,
Does
I
it?
must have missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Wait, you could have just saved my whole week, Nick. Thanks.
Yeah.
but that's all I have for housekeeping.
Okay.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, no problem. I was just listening to the same Smodcast podcast. Now they're doing like a retrospective of Clerks, because it's the
I just started
anniversary of that?
I just started that
Did
one
you?
today too. Yeah.
Okay.
Impractical Jokers returns for first episode since Joe Gatto's exit. It says the episode will air on Saturday, April 2nd, directly following the NCAA Men's Final Four.
Awesome.
Oh, coming right up.
There we go. Feel so much better now.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, just a heads up, part 2 of that series, I think that just dropped in the last few days, is all about the ladies in his life. So unless you're really interested in like the lady that Kevin,
I was going to say, yeah, because
Kevin dated.
It's titled Ladies Night, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like you can probably skip that one unless you're super interested in the girl coming on to do the podcast that he was his like steady girlfriend while he was making Clerks, and they talk about their relationship. Really not a lot of Clerk shit going on.
Yeah. I
So,
might give it a little bit of a
if
listen.
time is
see how it goes.
if time is valuable to you,
of the essence.
yes, you could probably skip that one.
Fair enough.
Wait for part 3. So this is the part of the podcast in between segments where Bob refers to himself in the third person and tries to remember what he typed in his notes during the week. I had a couple of things here, one of which I wanted to touch on, especially because your better half is sitting off camera
Where?
at a location not to be disclosed. I wrote down parenting tips, ... warning and consequences. I think that what I meant to say was
Warning and consequences, ... parent tips.
strike that, reverse it. Exactly.
Okay. Then we're right back to what you wrote.
I mean, I feel like I don't need to go any farther. I feel like you're already on top of this.
Yeah, got it.
And he said just because he works at home doesn't mean he drinks.
Now, just because I'm the only one here with children doesn't mean that I'm the only one that can comment on this. So I look for my co-host and special guest, Greg Gumtow, to comment on this with your thoughts. But as a parent, getting ready for kids,
Crocodile bananas. What do you guys think?
what I always found to be really effective was instead of if you gotta do something, you gotta go somewhere, you gotta take your kid to the doctor, or you gotta go somewhere where you know that they're not gonna be really excited to go. You start off with a warning, going, "Hey, we need to go to this place. Here's why we need to go. Here's what's gonna happen." And then if they start, freaking out, clearly they're not excited about it. They want to put their shoes on, or whatever. Then you got to give them the consequences for like, hey, if we don't get going to this place, or if we don't do this thing, then here's what's going to happen. Like you're not going to.
Yeah. You're talking my language.
At the night, so that at the end of it, if it all comes to pass where they're just being assholes, your kids, and they don't get that ice cream at the end of it, or they don't get that whatever, and the consequences do come to pass, then you're guilt free.
How about just some Excedrin PM?
And you've taught them a valuable lesson about consequences.
Bob, I don't know.
I love that.
I don't know if you should be rolling a Benadryl up in a piece of ham for your child.
It's called NyQuil.
I was going to ask what the rest of you think about that, but I think I already got Nick's answer on that. Greg?
I mean, it works. Should. Just tell them to get in the car. You're the boss. You are the one in charge. You say, you get the car. No, you get in the car. Drag them in the car. You're better than them.
But how many times have you seen the kid that doesn't do it?
Yeah.
What do you do then?
You do what my aunt used to do to me. You slap upside the back of the head. You tell them to get the hell in the car. And then when you start crying, you say, you better stop crying before I give you something to cry about.
What year was this?
1980s.
I feel like that's
in the 80s.
not acceptable anymore.
Well, it should be.
Why wouldn't your parents take you to the doctor? Why'd your aunt always take you?
My mom and dad separated when I was 3.
My mom and dad separated when I was 5. So don't
And
pull that 3 shit on me.
my mom was out of state. My mom was out of state.
And guess what? You remember a lot more when you're 5 than when you're 3.
You're right, because I remember none of it.
Exactly.
I don't know what is happening.
My
right now.
dad had the business, so he was at the business the whole time.
Give it in the business.
So
I was macking an
My
8-year-old
aunt-
when I was 5.
you were what?
my aunt gave me a lot of rides. So
What's that, Todd?
I was macking his 8-year-old when I was 5. I remember that.
Anyway, I
Good
kind of want to
crazy.
hear. I don't even know if I want your thoughts on that. This is just like things to.
Well,
things to
you asked.
I did
so
ask.
What
I
you're
did
going to
ask.
get.
Sure.
Well, so we bought these shock collars for the dogs, right? And they've seemed to have learned pretty
like where
well.
You're going with that.
perfect.
Okay.
So now that the dogs are basically going to be done with the shock collars, we'll just transfer that over.
This kind
Yeah.
of sounds like personal experience.
Okay.
Make sure I get a turn.
I
I said we weren't supposed to talk about. Never mind.
And as you can tell, Danielle is very enthused. She's that's a great. Yeah, I know it's a great idea. Thank you, babe. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go with the shock collars.
Yep.
I like it.
I mean, it get 2 uses out of one item. So I call it being responsible.
Corey's like, obviously, Danielle, I can't wear a collar to the podcast. But remember that taint thing we were talking about?
So you don't want to know where it's wrapped around.
I don't think it's going to be a regular segment. I don't want to sound preachy, but I remember.
You don't even know what it is.
I'll tell you what, though. What I was thinking about when I was thinking about this was when you guys were younger, you and your sisters, and Chris and I would come over to your house for birthday parties or whatever. I remember walking over there where we were married but no kids yet. And we walked in, and your dad and you were wrestling around and wrestling to the point where like there was some danger of some furniture being broken or someone getting
injured, we broke a lot of shit,
kicked in the nuts. And then Keegan's the youngest, right?
Yeah.
So your dad was taking Keegan and throwing her up in the air where she was coming within like a cunt hair of the ceiling, and then catching her again, and it just continued to do that over again. I remember looking over at Christy going, I don't think that he should be doing that. I don't know if we're not going to do that, are we? I can't see myself doing that.
They didn't care when it came to Keegan.
But you have those.
They were done.
You have those experiences and those judgments about your friends and relatives and people that you see parenting, and you make that decision like right away, going like, oh, I'm never going to do that, or that's a good idea.
I remember one of my grandma's friends, like her close friends. They would always we would have Friday nights where everyone would get together on a Friday, and it was established to originally help my dad. For people that don't know, help my dad through the divorce. So my aunt would say, "Come on over. Your 2 kids can hang out with my 2 kids, and we'll make dinner." So it ended up being a very social thing, and so all kinds of people would come to Friday night, quote unquote. And one of the couples were my grandma's dear friends. So at the time, I think they were in their 60s, and we were still younger, and we did a lot of the same thing that Bob's talking about. We would wrestle, with adults and things like that. And I remember this guy, Ray, who never was not feeling good, and had this very, very, very distinguishable voice, and just the drunken man's red face all the time. And I remember he's like, "Oh, so you want to go? You want to go? Let's fight. Come on." And I'm like, "I don't really want to fight." And he's like, "Yeah, we can do it." And so we started wrestling around in the next room, and my dad and everyone else apparently thought this was completely fine to fight an adult. And I remember he did some sort of martial art move to where I could feel the wind of his leg go right past my head. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like, okay, we need to be done. And you can tell he was not very easy on his feet. He just had a couple pops, and he's like, well, come on then, young buck. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm going to catch an ankle to the face. So, yeah, I intimately understand that shit.
Well, I mean, your drunk uncle and your dad, I guess.
It wasn't even my uncle, but we did call him Uncle Ray.
I was going to
call him Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray.
Did he hug you for a long time?
No.
I was going to say.
No, he wanted to kick me. Is what he wanted. He didn't want to hug me.
You guys in a room alone when this is happening?
No.
All right, just checking.
No.
But I will say that even after all that fighting and all that shit with my dad, I will never forget the day that I knew I beat him.
You bested him?
Oh, I had him got him in this chokehold that was just rock solid. He was starting to actually really not be able to breathe, and
those are the moments you remember.
It is actually. He grabbed onto my junk so hard and squeezed as hard, and I let go. I'm like,
of course he did,
and I'm like, what the fuck was that, Dad? Like seriously, he's like, you're never gonna win. I don't care what I have to do. He's like, I do not care what I have to do. He's like, you're not gonna win. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So that first time I started to best him, and
that's love right there.
He bested me.
But he taught you that wonderful moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget it.
There you go.
Yeah, and
if your kids walk a little bit little bit cockeyed. You'll know why.
I was just going to say, and you know who to blame when you can't have children.
Cory, do you think that's what started the stunting of growth?
Kitchen of 98.
98.
I don't know. I was just guessing on that. That's not the actual year. I couldn't tell you what year it was.
Let's just say it was.
Sure enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Cory's not good at age math.
It's not age. That's just years.
How old were you in 98?
I don't fucking know.
All right, Cory, how about a little booze news?
And
I thought you were gonna let me
it's
go.
time for booze news.
Oh, yeah. You didn't let Todd
You didn't
go.
let Todd go.
Whoa, I thought, Todd, you jumped on board with the shot color idea. That
No, I was
had his own.
anti that.
All right.
I had my
That's the
own
booze
take.
news.
Hold on.
All right. Rewind.
Hey, Todd, what do you think?
Well, the first, if I heard it right, you touched on a subject that's near and dear to me. It was about as new parents, you should, if you say you're going to do a thing, you should follow through. And as an uncle of nieces and nephews who I've seen firsthand, and for a time really didn't like people not enforcing those boundaries and those acting on the threats that you make, it was near and dear to me. So when you guys decide to have kids, please follow through on what you say you're going to do. The shot collar thing is funny, but like ill-behaved kids makes it so you don't want to be around people you love. But again, I've seen it firsthand where I used to call my nephew Colin 2 times because it'd be like, hey, Colin, if you do that again, his mom would say, if you eat one more piece of candy, you're not going to get dessert after dinner. And he'd eat candy 2 more times. And then even after dinner, he'd still get dessert. It drove me insane. So please, when you guys have kids, make sure that they actually behave. And you do that, you should follow through on what you say you're going to do. If you're going to take the TV away for a week, take it away for a week. Not 3 days, not the 5-day work week. Take it away, even if they drive you insane. That's my take on that.
Yeah, because Uncle Todd could have a trunk full of presents for you. And
Oh.
you might not get it.
Yeah.
You
And
might not
Todd,
get it.
luckily Danielle heard all of that, and she is in more of agreement with me and the shot collars. But that's just because she disagrees with you that strongly after hearing that statement.
Don't have bad kids, or nobody will like you or your kids.
Yep, she got all that too. Still disagreeing.
Luckily, Cory and Danielle's children, somehow the Cory gene is going to be dominant, and they're just going to sleep all the time.
That'd be awesome.
I let Bob and Christy know that I was always appreciative. They absolutely followed through on everything, even when I thought I was over the top, like with a doll that went back into my trunk for her birthday when she was afraid of black people for a minute.
Yep. You got it, buddy. I'm always in your corner.
Did we ever find out if she got that or not, or does Todd still own that?
Eventually, no, she got it eventually.
She got it eventually. It had some
Okay,
tire
all right.
scuffs on it from rolling around in my trunk.
It was wrapped up in some jumper cables.
I say stayed with my spare tire for 6.5 years.
Yeah. She got it eventually, but she learned self-control.
Exactly.
And immediately
the
imploded
important-
after she got the doll.
That's the important.
So if I hug the black man,
I mean, was that really the right way to go? Like the black doll belongs in the trunk, rolling around with the spare tire and everything. That's the lesson you should learn.
Whoever said it was a black doll?
That's what
Exactly.
I just said.
No.
First
I
of
did
all,
not.
The doll.
Yeah, you did.
First of all, the doll.
I did
came
not.
out
I
of-
said it-
the doll came out of the trunk. It's only right that it should go back where it came from.
Someone said black doll.
No.
No one did.
He says, if I hug the black man, I get the doll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I heard black and doll. I'm like, all right. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense to me.
She's a white girl. She can't play with black dolls.
Of course she can.
Nick Bader. That's not
Jingle
what I
jangle.
think. Jingle jangle.
Yeah.
All right, now we can get into booze news.
And now it's time for booze news.
All right, Nick and I both got something. I'll jump in first because I think I can get through this relatively quickly. Have you guys ever heard of the radioactive Boy Scout?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Go
Nope.
on. I had not, and I'm like, what the fuck? So this is a local story. So his name was David Charles Hahn, sometimes called the radioactive Boy Scout or the nuclear Boy Scout. He was an American. He was the scout in the Boy Scouts of America, born in 1976. He conducted experiments as a Boy Scout in secret in a backyard shed at his mother's house in Commerce Township, Michigan. His goal was to build and demonstrate a homemade breeder reactor as a Boy Scout. While he never managed to build a reactor, in August of '94, his progress attracted the attention of local police when they found material in his vehicle that troubled them during a stop for a separate matter. When Han warned them that the material is radioactive, the police contacted federal authorities. His mother's property was cleaned up by the EPA 10 months later as a Superfund cleanup site, and he attained Eagle Scout rank shortly after his lab was dismantled. While this incident was not widely publicized initially, it became better known following a 1998 Harper's Magazine article by journalist Ken Silverstein. Han was also the subject of Silverstein's 2004 book, The Radioactive Boy Scout. As an adult, he served in the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. He was subsequently treated for mental illness, and his death at age 39 in 2016, for those of you who can't do age math, was related to drug and alcohol use. So that's the Cliff Notes version of it. But it's a pretty interesting story that is a little bit older, but I didn't know that it was so close to home in Commerce Township. And this guy made, he made the FBI's wanted list because he turned his mother's backyard into a Superfund hazardous materials site.
But somebody reviewed what he was going to actually do. What's your project? Oh, I'm going to make a breeder reactor.
As one does.
I mean, he was pretty upfront about it.
No.
Like.
Let me get just a little bit more out here for some context. So, as a Boy Scout, he was fascinated by chemistry and spent years conducting amateur chemistry experiments, which sometimes cause small explosions and other mishaps, as you would imagine. He was inspired in part by reading the Golden Book of Chemistry Experiments, and he tried to collect samples of every element in the periodic table, including the radioactive ones. He later received a merit badge in atomic energy and became fascinated with the idea of creating a breeder reactor in his home. So not for Boy Scouts, in secret. His mom didn't know. He secretly amassed radioactive material by collecting small amounts from household products, such as americium from smoke detectors, thorium from camping lantern mantles, radium from clocks, and tritium from gun sights. His reactor was a bored-out block of lead, and he used lithium from $1,000 worth of purchased batteries to purify the thorium ash using a Bunsen burner. This dude was serious.
Wow.
He's awesome.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
It is, but as it turns out, he was a little bit unstable.
Well,
much like his experiment.
I mean,
yeah, it's a fascinating. So there's more. If you want to read more about it, you just do a search for the Radioactive Boy Scout, and you'll find a pretty interesting story, especially if you.
I will.
In Michigan.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Nick, what do you got?
All right, on the lighter side of things.
Oh, this wasn't light?
No.
This is a jaunty tale of chemistry experiments.
A glowing green light, but a light
Right.
nonetheless, yeah. On the lighter side of things, hackthemenu.com. Hackthemenu.com is your one-stop resource for all secret menu items at all fast food restaurants. Secret menus at restaurants are comprised of unofficial and unadvertised selections that fast food chains will make when ordered, but do not exist on their regular menus. While some secret menu items were created by the restaurants themselves, most of the secret items were invented by customers and passed on by word of mouth. Here at hackthemenu.com, they leverage the knowledge of community and are dedicated to providing you with the details and recipes and prices for the most interesting and tasty secret menu items available to all the favorite fast food restaurants there are. Customers learn by word of mouth, and they're spreading this word just a little bit further by this website. From animal-style fries available exclusively at In-N-Out Burger and the Orange Dream Machine available only on the secret Jamba Juice menu, all the way to the Quesarito from Chipotle's secret menu, hackthemenu.com is your best friend. There are hundreds of other items available also from asking from other menu restaurants. As the list of secret menus keep growing, we will update and report on all our items to keep your secret menu heaven so to be. So if you hear of one that we don't have listed, feel free to contact us, Don't forget to check out hackthemenus.com list of healthy secret menu options, whatever. So if you go to hackthemenu.com, first things that pop up are Arby's, Burger King, Carl's Jr., Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, DQ, Five Guys, In-N-Out, Jack in the Box, Jamba Juice, KFC, McDonald's, Panera Bread, Shake Shack, and the list goes on. And, yeah, there's some pretty crazy things out there. For instance, if we go to Taco Bell, double grill quesadilla, enchilada, chili cheese burrito, cheeserito, cheesy gordita crunch, the Incredible Hulk, the Superman, verde sauce, which they definitely still have, but they say they don't.
Oh, hang on.
What's the Incredible Hulk?
The Incredible Hulk at Taco Bell. Let's see.
It's actually giving you a little window here that it's doing the spam thing. For me, at least.
So the Incredible Hulk, availability at all locations. The secret, beefy 5-layer burrito with guacamole instead of nacho cheese. Subtract the inner 6-inch shell and make it fresco. You can skip the sour cream as well.
Ooh, I see that now. Yep.
Interesting.
But
I was looking for the Superman.
isn't the cheesy gordita crunch that's a regular menu item?
It used to be.
No, it still is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because some places I've gone to way back when, they said they don't make it anymore.
And
Really?
they also have the Doritos shell anything.
Anything being
Anything on the menu. Apparently, you
so
can
they
ask
just put
for
it in
a
Dorito shell?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I have a quesadilla?
Yes.
Anything, please.
The Hulk is extra guacamole on your burrito.
I like the
so
Superman.
There's a million other ones. Let's see. KFC. Add bacon. Add mashed potatoes. Build your own bowl. Hot pocket bowl. Poutine. Side of biscuits. McDonald's, the first things that are coming up. 2 cheeseburger meal. Add an egg to your burger. The All-American Apple Pie McFlurry. Ooh, that sounds good. The Big Mac and Cheese. The Big McChicken. Caramel Apple Sundae. Chicken Cordon Bleu McMuffin. Chicken McGriddle. Cinnamon Melt a la mode. Fries with Big Mac sauce. So
Yeah, I feel like we're just reading the menu now. Are we reading the menu?
no.
It's the secret menu.
Yeah, the cinnamon melt a la mode is they obviously will put ice cream on top of your cinnamon melt. So it's not a menu item.
Okay.
But yeah, check it out for yourself. I'm not going to keep reading through these. But hackthemenu.com.
All right, Cory, before you go on with your special segment.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to...
Yeah, we got a shot sitting here.
Oh,
And
okay.
we should probably tell folks what we're drinking.
Yeah.
So, should we just start doing like what's different from before? Because I feel like we're always doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm still doing Blue Light and Fireball.
Yeah, Dark Horse Raspberry Fireball. Greg,
Glenlivet, 12-year.
12-year this time. It wasn't, what was the last time? 16?
14.
14? Cory's got the standard.
Hard soda and, well, butter shots and Fireball.
Yeah, and Todd, I'm going to guess it's Crown Apple for the shot, and what's for the drink?
You nailed it. I'm actually doubled up again. I did Aloha Death again from Iron Horse.
All right, we're going to have to switch it up, fellas.
Or just not do that.
It's not like people are clamoring to go like, things must change. Things must change.
No.
But yeah, we can switch it up.
I'll mix it up. I'll
might
bring
have
back my brown sugar bourbon.
We might have a new keg by the next time we get
We will.
All right, please join us. Cheers.
Salute.
Yikes.
Sweet Crown Apple.
Dishing it over to Cory Selesky.
Yes. So, as I brought up to you, Bob, and well, all of you guys, that sorry for the echo. I would like to do a new segment called TT's TikToks.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
I figured, Todd, I figured you'd be on board with that.
Of course he is. This is a tacit approval to the nickname that he assigned you. That means there's no escaping it now.
Yeah, I've never
There's
heard
nothing I can do to help you now.
That's why I'm just going to lean into
Just
it.
gonna embrace it.
And,
I love it.
And go from there. So for I found a shit ton of TikToks this week I wanted to show you guys, but I narrowed it down to 2 for this episode.
Okay.
So first, let's I gotta hook back up to the road real quick.
I was actually going to say when he started this segment, I was going to go, hang on, I just got to pull it up. because he does it.
No, I got it. Of course, I got it
Every
pulled up.
time you lob him a softball, he's like, "All right,"
Hold on.
and then he's like,
in his
"Hang
defense, I'm not sure this is a softball because I feel like if I had to do the same thing, I'd be probably saying the same thing.
I wasn't expecting it right now. So, but anyways, so here's the first one for you guys. Let me bring it up on screen, and we'll start it.
I'm not getting the sound. That's going to be the
Eagle
next.
has landed and is making his way down the helicopter stairs. We know his history with stairs, and this could be a disaster. Stand by. Eagle has made it down the stairs. He was a little wobbly at the end, but he made it. Eagle appears to be very disoriented today. We're going to need to do like last time and point out exactly where we need him to go. Secret Service team, prepare to point. Hold that point. Perfect. No way he could miss that. Eagle will be turning in 5, 4, 3, 2. He missed his mark. Eagle is wandering. All units be advised, we are going to need a pretty lady or small child of some sort with nice smelling hair to get the Eagle back on track. And we've lost visual.
So,
Okay, I guess I see why people
Who is that weird
Yeah,
guy?
who is that guy?
That's Ben Shapiro.
watch
Oh,
TikTok.
is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
so that was the first one for you guys.
Probably made Ben Shapiro's day.
If people weren't able to see, if you're listening to the audio version, it was President Biden going the opposite direction of where the Secret Service was pointing him.
Shapiro does a thing where he does that TikTok. His producers make him watch it, and he kind of comments on them.
How did the hand go to
Okay.
TikTok again? Like that.
Just like that.
TikTok.
All right, next one.
This is the universal
It's like
TikTok
Tinder?
side.
It's like a clock. It is like
Tinder
clock.
cock.
No. Tinder's a different sign. What's the Tinder sign, Greg?
Only one finger.
It's only one finger.
TikTok's 4 fingers.
There you go.
Gotcha. All right, so this next one here, this is Mark Ruffalo on Jimmy Fallon Late Night, and I'll let the video take it from there.
daughter, who's in preschool, has a little period of time where the parents come and they hang out with the kid in the morning. This little boy, Nicholas, sat across the table from her, and I was coloring with her and doing the things you do with a preschool child. Absolutely. And he looked up at me and he said, Are you the Hulk? And I was like, well, no. And my daughter's like, yeah, he's the Hulk. And he said, can you turn into the Hulk? And I was like, she's like, do it, Daddy, do it. So I went, and he went, not here, the school, they're breaking.
So
A daughter.
there you guys go.
Yeah.
Those are the TT's TikToks for the week.
That's what you absolutely should have done.
I'm sorry, and the Hulk is who?
You don't want to
Yeah,
make me angry.
that's-
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I love this segment. Cory, are these just the ones that hit your fancy? Or are you taking requests from the gallery?
Well, he didn't say I'm taking a request, but I gave him a request, so I forced him to take one from me. So I sent him a link to a video and said, hey, can I just sort of piggyback onto your TT's TikTok segment, even though it's not a TikTok? So I think the answer is probably yes, because unless he refuses to play my clip, that leaves the door open for you, Todd.
Sweet.
Yeah, 2 things. One, I don't ever want to hear about hitting Cory's fancy again. And 2, I'm so happy.
Tickling Cory's fancy.
Even better.
2,
tickling.
I'm so glad that you said piggyback and not piggy tails.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Wait, Woody.
Sorry, hardcore Schnozzcast fans. So yeah, I sent a link to Cory for an Instagram video that I ran across, and I ended up sending to his sister on her birthday, who used to work at a pet
Not shelter, boarding house.
Boarding house.
Yeah,
Dog park.
basically.
yeah, doggy hotel. So I want you to watch this video for all the joy that you have, but keep in mind that
Why is
toward the
this-
end here, there's going to be a dog who just doesn't figure it out, and things go horribly wrong.
It's a shit ton of dogs.
So these are dogs running towards the camera.
Yep.
Basically.
The Roddy made it.
Hold on, right about here. Oh no! Look out!
It was a beagle. It was riding the wave. It got caught up.
I think that dog got sidelined by another dog.
I feel like that was better than if I had sent your sister a birthday present, like an expensive wrapped gift. That was
Probably.
better.
She enjoys stuff like that much better than people. So
Yeah. Yeah, and we have we're a very dog-friendly podcast. We've had a lot of dog-related segments on the show. Not so much with the cats, but maybe we might be persuaded at some point in the future to no.
no, we will not.
Special
That's
guest
not
Greg
happening.
Gumtow says no, so it looks like that dictates what we're going to do going forward.
Ooh, that's cool. Nice effect. That was an awesome effect.
I guess that couldn't have come at a better time, huh?
Hey, send me that clip.
Yes.
You got it.
All right. I'm trying to go back to what I told Cory the second time.
I love. We need to save that forever.
It
Oh,
will be
yeah.
saved.
Save Bob's.
Yeah. No problem.
Especially because
Yeah.
he has said to us off microphone before, he's like, I don't know, I'm just so self-critical sometimes. Like, I feel like I say a lot.
Is that your me?
No.
Okay.
But you're like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always saying and I'm like, I've never
I feel like I
noticed
say way
that.
too much.
And you just highlighted it. Just it was like his worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was.
We had an jar going at one point.
Yes. Yeah.
That Gina was supposed to.
he did
quickly
not
got filled.
He did not care for the jar.
That was my idea.
I know you didn't like that's, but you didn't end up
But when
liking it.
when it was actually sitting here
Yeah.
across from you,
Yeah.
and you could hear the quarters clinking into
Clink.
it,
I remember he goes.
it got awfully he was like sweating looking at the jar. Being
I remember he said he's like, I almost don't know
it's
what to
like-
say.
It's like
Yeah.
someone confronting you with your worst nightmare.
basically, yeah.
You're afraid of spiders? How about 4,000 spiders?
I don't know if that's your worst nightmare.
That was pretty close.
It's a little
Apparently-
dramatic.
Apparently, it was
No,
enough of
it's-
a nightmare.
I talk for a living. Some people do talk for a living. Then some people are teachers. Some people are, they interact with the public all the time.
Some people are hot for a living.
That's a horrible nightmare. Shut up, Todd.
I do remember, and I think I said this at the time. My dad used to get really upset with us because it was back in the 90s when we were younger, and our friends, that we would tell a story and we would say like, and not as a term of endearment, but we would say like. She was like, and then he was like, and so my dad.
It's that nervous filler.
My dad got so upset with it. He was like
I was gonna say, good luck getting out of that, out of that one.
that he would say, he goes, Nick, you like someone. Someone can't be like this or like that. So he would say,
They can.
Yeah,
they can. But and so he would go every time we would say. So then they were like, he'd go and he'd make this noise, and he'd start hysterically laughing because the whole car would come to like a dead stop. Like no one would be able to talk.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't even talk without saying she was like or he was like all of us would. I just said like again.
You said it like 4 times. Not.
So I understand that like
No, there he did it again.
Yep.
He's stuck in it. He's in a loop.
not being
Look,
able to.
By the way,
process.
there was a thing that your dad did that was the equivalent of like, whatever it was. I don't know if you caught it or didn't
Yeah.
catch it. Everybody has a tick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something
Yeah, I
they
said,
rely
yeah,
on
it's-
to go like, okay, I'm
Like-
not gonna. I can't just let silence be there. I need to fill it with something.
Yeah.
And so
Indeed.
some people that's and other people it's like, and it doesn't really matter. Everybody's got
But when
it.
you start noticing it, then it's horrible.
Yeah. When you listen to yourself over and over again, then it starts to become like, this is a crutch I need
Like-
to get rid of.
I also think too that it depends a lot on the person and their inflection of like.
Yeah.
In normal conversation,
Yeah,
when
not
people
like
are just
a
like,
bally girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
like that's
like
not
gross.
like
exactly. When it's someone just saying like, I wasn't so.
I didn't say anything.
Looked at me.
I was just looking at you. You're a very nice person. I like to see you.
For those who don't know, Danielle is a typical Valley girl, so.
Like, oh my
Got
God.
me with a spoon.
How'd you know? Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
Yep.
No, there's a very long no.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I don't believe you're a Valley girl.
When it comes to that inflection of it, that's I think when it gets more annoying.
So that bothers you.
Well, but the point being is that I think you guys encountered that a lot more downriver.
Are you trying to say that bothered you?
Like
The infliction.
Inflection.
Sorry.
Infliction?
Yeah.
The infliction.
Infliction?
The infliction of inflection.
Yeah. Did I say infliction?
So basically,
Yeah.
the no.
Yeah, that's.
She also doesn't post pictures often of you guys in love.
Yeah, never. I'd never see those.
It's
Ever.
very, very rare.
You guys see more than I do, apparently.
Love. Cory's like, I got her blocked on Facebook.
I don't see any of those pictures. Not a single one.
Oh, fellas. How about another round of 100 questions before we take a break? Mm-hmm. Cory, I'm thinking we got like 10 minutes or so left.
You're about correct, sir.
All righty. Today's at 12, so that is that. All right. To the group, did you go to sleepaway summer camp as a kid?
No.
No.
No. Hell nah.
Wow, none of us.
We ain't paying $200 for you to be sleeping outside.
Bob, didn't you go? You didn't go to band camp or anything?
Nope. No camp.
But your kids did.
Not sleepaway camp.
What the fuck is sleepaway camp?
Sleepaway is like for the summer. Go for the summer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like it's like a meatball.
band
scenario.
camp is not for the summer. You come home every night.
No, it's like a. No, they're there for like 5 days.
Oh, that's not bad.
The sleepaway camp is like for
I was like to me,
2 straight
to me,
months.
saying like summer. That's saying summer camp.
June,
Yeah.
July, you're there.
Yeah, summer
Yep.
camp is the equivalent of
Yeah,
sleeping
your
camp.
parents get 2 months of total silence and privacy.
Yep.
How
my
are businesses
mom
work?
shipped us off to my grandma's house, my great grandma's house.
So you
that's
did
why
do
no
it.
summer camps.
They
No.
didn't call summer camp.
No, I got the summer camp brochure. Mom was like, "We ain't spending no $250 on no summer camp. You go to see your grandma." That's what it was.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
I love how when Todd's connection breaks up, he always ends up closing it out with something that makes you go like, "Oh no, I got it now."
Yeah.
All right. When people stand up for a standing ovation, are you usually one of the earlier people to stand up or one of the later people?
Later.
Oh, I'm a later person. It's highly dependent on what it is, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Todd.
It depends. If I'm a leader, if I'm blown away, I'm the first one up. If it's good and everybody else agrees, if it's a solid B plus, I'm like, oh, I'll get up,
Yeah, more than likely.
but I'll be late.
I'm the. Really? Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm usually in the back of the room, like one of the last ones. Even if it's something, if it blew me away, then I might feel guilty for like a split second.
That happened to me a couple weeks ago
Yeah?
at the movie theater. I don't get why
Where,
people.
Batman?
Yeah. People stood up and started applauding. I'm
I
like,
would not stand up.
I'm
at a
like,
movie
sit the
theater.
fuck down. What are you
No,
doing?
they're not here.
During the movie or at the end?
Right at the end. Like after it was over. Like,
Oh,
oh, that
Are you
was a
sure
good
they weren't
movie.
just standing up and leaving?
No, they were clapping. Like,
Exactly. Did the lights come on?
the lights were coming on, yeah.
That is so dumb. Why do you clap at a fucking
Because
movie?
people are fucking stupid. That's why.
I've done it.
Never. Never would I.
It's like
I'd be
it's
in-
like a concert.
No.
the
Yeah,
end
they're
of the
not there to see
They're
you.
not- they're not
They don't
there.
even see you.
That's for
The concert
show,
sees you.
Clapping is to show appreciation for someone to understand. It'd be like if you were leaving the movie theater and you threw dollars on the stage and you were like, "Here's your
No,
tip.
no.
Here's
Just
your
those
tip."
are the actors.
I had something that I needed to get off my chest, and that was that. It was the clapping at the end. I'm like,
Tipping
this is
for good service.
This is what it warrants. Is my clapping.
Like you understand that the people that clean
By
the
the way-
theater are getting this money.
by the
Doesn't
way-
matter. It was a great show.
By the way, when I leave, I have to stand up anyway. So it was the stand up, clap, leave. And that's what I
Actually, the funny thing is, I want to attack Bob, but I think I was there for a standing clap.
I've never ever clapped at at a movie.
I was gonna say I was right there with you, Todd, because I'm like, yeah, I don't understand standing at the end of a movie and clapping for an audience that's not.
I don't even care about
there.
standing, clapping. That's where I draw the line.
Fair enough.
It'd be like if I watched this show in my basement by myself and was like, "Oh yeah, yes."
I do that. I do that right now.
Yeah, some of us aren't as stingy with the claps as you are.
Exactly.
Some of
What
us are a
that
little
cost you, Nick?
freewheeling with the claps.
Nick's
I
like,
know.
I got 15 claps to use this year. I am saving them for something that's worth
But
it.
you have to look at the origin of clapping is to show the person
100%.
appreciation.
I'm with
100%,
you,
Greg.
and I don't do that in a movie theater.
No.
I will say I'd be more prone to clap at home on my own at something than in a movie theater with other people around.
You guys are a little haphazard.
What the fuck's the
with
difference?
claps.
You're
There's
in
a
your
huge
house.
difference.
No.
It's
You're
so that
clapping
people
for-
don't know
Are
that
you clapping
he's dumb.
for someone in your home, or to no one in your home?
To no one. I'm not that I do. I'm just saying I would if I was that excited about something I just watched.
Yeah.
I would
Don't
do it
backtrack, TT.
You
I would do it
Don't
in-
backtrack.
You
I'm
would
not
start-
backtracking. I'm not
start
backtracking.
clapping by yourself.
Yeah.
in my house. Yes.
Yeah.
In a movie theater,
All right,
though, yeah,
Dion.
I'm not standing up and clapping.
It'd be like watching a movie about strippers and throwing dollars at the screen.
I've probably
And
done,
who says I haven't?
I've probably done it twice in my life, and in the movie theater, no regrets.
Exactly.
All right, what type of milk do you put in your cereal?
2%.
2%.
2%.
I gotta go.
One or two.
What one tops? One tops.
What's that?
I vacillate between the two.
Yeah,
What one tops? What are you talking about?
one at the most.
Oh, 1%.
1%.
Yeah.
Oh,
at
it's
the
like
most.
water.
Yeah.
I'll
I would
drink.
just
I'll,
No, fat free is like water.
I'll drink
I would
skim milk.
just rather eat cereal dry at that point than putting 1% in it.
Yeah, 1%. Yeah, you can have 1% of
I
mine.
mean, I'll do I'll do almond milk occasionally with it, but I don't.
God.
See, I probably should try that. I've heard that a couple of
Mm-hmm.
times.
Oh,
I don't
right up
like.
your
I like
alley.
almond milk, but I don't like to mix it with cereal. I don't. It's just not a substitute.
What kind of cereal are we talking about though? Like, this needs to be more information.
Oh, this is a whole. This is a whole other podcast. If it's Cracklin' Oat brand, it's a science. Like it's a very specific kind of a milk that you're using with Cracklin' Oat brand. But if you're
Okay.
eating like
All right.
fucking
I
Cheerios
could-
or some
I could be
bullshit
convinced.
like that, come on.
Oh,
I could be convinced.
I had a bunch of cereal at the house and ran out of milk. And I was like, all right, well, it's like 1 a.m. I'm going to run to the corner 7-Eleven.
Time to use the vodka.
No, I'm going to run up to 7-Eleven because I just really want some cereal. I've got like that Seinfeld complex, like the
You know, I've had that a lot
Peter
too.
Pan
I
complex.
literally have started in the last Started to Roll Your Story.
Yeah.
Right back to it in just a second,
Yeah.
but I literally have had for the last couple of months like 5 or 6 boxes of cereal in my cupboard.
Yeah.
A
I
la
love
Seinfeld.
cereal.
Yeah, and I normally never did that because my kids would be like, "Hey, buy me this cereal," and I'd be like, "Okay," and they'd never eat it. I'm like, "Why didn't you eat your cereal?" And he's like, "I don't like that cereal."
But as much as
You asked me to buy it for you. No, I didn't. Like bald face lie to my face. No, I didn't. Sorry.
I mean, no, the crazy thing is, as much as I love food, like actual, like really good food, like if I have cereal in the house, I'm going to fucking eat it. There's certain cereals that I will eat.
Yeah.
And so I went up to 7-Eleven and had to talk to this fucking woman, the midnight 7-Eleven lady. And all they had was 1%, and it just ruined the whole experience for me. It ruined it.
Her name is Rayanne. Please.
Oh, dude, she was playing country.
and she
she
loved-
was
and
every
she
bit of
loves
Rayanne.
meth.
She was every bit of, how's it going? I
It's
was
on
just
the
getting the
application of
coffee
that one.
going. I'm like, okay, I just want the milk. I don't care about all that. So, yeah, I can't do. I mean, in a pinch, I guess, but
I mean, if
You can't do what? Like low percent fat milk?
no, 2% is the line I draw.
It's got to be 2%.
I can go between the two. I think I used to be that way. I think, like I said, I was able to cut over. And at first, I was like, "Yeah, it's too watery," but then I got used to it. And like I said, every now and again, I'm like, "Yeah." After I've had, and I don't do a ton of cereal, but if I've had milk for a while, I think usually I switch it off and on and off, 1%, 2%, back and forth.
See, I had a very fucked up childhood in that, like, we were raised on fat-free milk. So I never really knew.
so you're really branching out with this 1%.
Well, no, it was when
That's full fat.
No,
You fat fuck.
No, it was when I had kids, and Cory will learn this. But when you have kids, like you got to move to either whole milk or 2%, one of the two.
Yeah, we were on vitamin
For your
whole
kids.
milk.
But then after a while, you're like, oh, okay, I can't. Once they turn like 6 or 7, like you got to kind of start backing it off a little bit. So you go to 2% if you're on whole. If you're on 2, then maybe you go to 1. So that's kind of where I left it, was at 1. But I
Corey, you don't have to
raised on
tell
like
us. We know you're on
fat-free milk.
whole milk.
So
No, we never had whole milk. It was always 2%.
Really?
Yeah.
I always had 2%.
yeah.
No, we always had.
If it was awesome to have when you were a kid, like I didn't have that.
We were poor, so we had 2% mixed cut with that carnation dry powdered milk.
Come on, man.
I'm serious. It was freaking horrible.
We had salt sandwiches.
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my god.
All right. What's the most number of hours you've watched TV in a single day? And if any one of you motherfuckers here says less than 24,
What?
I'm going to call you on it.
How can you not say less than 24?
Well, what's the most? So
Whoa,
everyone
whoa,
here has
hold on.
watched 24 hours in a row?
No, God, no.
Do you have to count? Do you have to count bathroom breaks?
Hold on. Bob, you've watched
No, bathroom
24
breaks are
hours
fine.
of TV in a row?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So literally for an entire day.
Yep.
But one sitting. What if you go to the bathroom? Is that a sitting or?
You can go to the bathroom.
Is that working at home?
Yeah, dude, no, there's no way
I mean, how much Maury Povich can you take?
All of it.
Maury Povich.
I mean, and we're also talking like
Glad you were with me. when I'm watching
excluding
Maury
being
Povich.
sick.
Even if I'm
Why would
sick,
you be?
you're still falling asleep and stuff.
Right,
when you're
right.
sick.
Yeah.
No. Hold on a
That
second.
doesn't
When you
count
get
either. You're
if
falling
you're-
asleep
if
when
you're-
sick.
if you're traveling somewhere to watch the NCAA tournament and you didn't have tickets to get to the game, you'd watch TV from the time you got up to the time you went to bed, and you'd go to bed with probably and only get 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
So
I've done this
probably
multiple times.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I mean, I
still
could-
a break. That's not 24
I could
hours.
say 18.
That's why I was
20
asking those clarifying
without-
questions.
I'm probably multiple times. 18,
So Todd's
20, easy.
clarifying question, are you counting sleep?
No, you don't count sleep.
So you can fall asleep and wake back up and start, and then there's no lapse in time.
No. I've been up for 24 hours, watched TV for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's a little messed up.
Bob, you slept during a Tool concert.
Because he was up the
He
day
was
before
high.
watching TV for 24 hours.
Okay.
This could have happened earlier in my life, Corey, earlier than last weekend. So,
So here's my question.
yeah.
On these, I'm saying rare instances or instance.
You can say whatever you like, sir.
Every
hoping,
Sunday.
I'm
You can say
hoping.
whatever you like, sir.
What caught your attention that you did 24 hours? Was it anything consistent? Was it like a lost marathon or something?
No, it was so one of them was college age video games, which I'm counting.
That's
Are we talking video games
That's
too?
watching
Oh, I've
TV.
definitely
I've done, like,
done
36
24.
hour,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
done.
Yeah, and another one was sports. So I've definitely watched like 24 straight hours of sports during, like Todd said, like March Madness, Stanley Cup playoffs, or whatever you're catching up with this or that. Don't have anything else to do on vacation. Literally, you know what I mean?
I've probably done that because I remember we had like a satellite dish way back when.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine would get the cards to get all the channels,
Yeah.
and he had like the hockey network. But you got every game and every
Right.
network. It had
Right.
all replayed.
You finally got
so
a
you're
network
like
you never had before.
So you watch the Wings game at 7:00, but then they were playing replays of all the other games. You could literally watch hockey nonstop, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing.
Now, well, I mean,
Yeah.
it may count, it may not, but Corey and I, through our sleep, was watching Just Dance for quite some time.
If you're sleeping, that doesn't count.
We can still hear it, though.
No,
I also watched Die Hard 5 times.
that's only
watched-
10 hours. You still got 14 more hours to go.
Fuck.
But
So
those times
close.
in your life where you're like, oh, moving out of your parents' house into your own place, or I was married and now I'm divorced and no one can fucking tell me I can't, or you name the scenario. Those are the times where you're like,
I've
fuck
probably-
yeah, I'll stay awake for 24 hours.
I don't know what
Yeah,
I
no,
watched the
dude.
first
Who's
part
gonna
of the
stop
day
me?
because there's like I wouldn't do it. You go out Friday night, get drunk, and then so I'm up Saturday around 11. I'd watch TV all day, and then I think the second season of Punisher came out at midnight,
Yeah.
and I stayed up, and then I was like, well, shit, might as well start that. So I started watching that. So
See what
that
I
took
mean?
me all the way into the next. I watched all 10 or however many episodes it was, and each one's an hour.
Yeah.
So,
Stopped
yeah,
to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But didn't go to sleep. Like, that's what I'm
I
talking
just
about.
can't imagine, like, coming downstairs at 5 p.m. and being like, oh.
We'll see how I have to go without that.
I mean,
And then
Turn
go
you-
all through the night and
Yeah.
then through the next morning
Till
5
5
o'clock.
p.m.? No.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Can't
It's
say
a-
I've
Can I
ever
go?
been there.
It's a
And-
scene, man.
And as
Todd, how'd you do?
So I'm I'm going to be telling on myself a little bit, but I've done it multiple times. But the one that stands out was probably my first time. So as I said before, when I was young, we didn't have any money, so we didn't have cable. But one weekend I was staying the weekend with my stepdad, and the neighbor had cable. And basically, when I go there, we were left unattended for the entire day and night. And over a weekend, we watched Porky's and whatever another R-rated, like all the way through the night. Like I watched it again and again and again and again, and the sun came out, and I freaking. Oh my goodness, my boobies in youth. But I definitely did 24 straight hours, and I asked the bathroom question because I probably went to the bathroom like twice.
Pretty good record there.
That is awesome. All right, let's go into a little gentleman's agreement.
Oh, it's the MF and gentleman's agreement. Oh, done.
All right, let's start with Cory this time. I feel like I never start with Cory.
We're going to start with me?
Yeah.
Yay.
Boy. All right.
You had to watch Collective.
Yeah, from Nick. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
And he hated it.
Well, I had to text Nick to make sure that the second I started the movie and I saw subtitles pop up and I read the description of the movie.
It's like this motherfucker.
That it's a Romanian movie. I'm like, this is going to be it throughout the entire thing. There's going to be nothing I can understand.
Yeah.
So let me just text Nick to make sure that this is what he wanted me to watch.
Right.
Sure enough, it was. And it's all about the healthcare system in Romania, and that there was a fire in a club named Collective, hence the name of the documentary. And afterwards, all the people getting treated for their burns and other injuries in certain hospitals contracted some sort of infection that ended up killing them.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's
No one's gonna watch it.
yeah. So, anyways, so it is very interesting, and to see the damage that was caused by this fire, and then the aftermath of what it caused. There was a huge uproar in Romania about this. But I shouldn't say the only downside of the movie were the subtitles. There was a lot in it that I found absolutely hilarious that I probably shouldn't have.
What?
Well, let's start on the lighter side. So the news broadcast that brought all this out, talking about healthcare in Romania, happened to be a sports newscast that decided that they're just going to start actually doing news. So a company that would normally cover the sports in Romania, which I'm sure there's not a lot,
Right.
they busted out this big newscast about their findings that these hospitals were buying diluted disinfectant, hence what caused everyone to get this infection that ended up being deadly. So found that very, very weird. There was a lot of points in the movie where the subtitles, I actually got to the point where I wasn't even that upset about the subtitles anymore. It was the fact that when there was people talking, they wouldn't label who it was. It was literally just the words coming up on the screen. So people would be talking over each other, but you couldn't make any reference or context of who was actually talking while reading the subtitles.
Right.
So it got very confusing during a lot of points in the movie. And I'm like, I can't tell who's having the discussion right now.
I didn't try when I watched it, but can you turn dubbing on?
I thought about it, but I was already too deep into the movie. I'm like, I need to ride this out now.
Yeah.
And then even the dubbing, I'm like, I don't know how that's going to turn out. So I just went with the subtitles. Also, come to find out, so this movie was 2019. The documentary was 2019. Yeah. Romania is so far behind the times in technology, guys. So far.
That's a shocker.
Dude, I actually had to look up when the movie was made. But the head news broadcaster in the documentary his phone was an old Nokia phone, and it showed him sending a text, and he had to do the old to get C 1 2 3.
The QWERTY.
Yeah.
the QWERTY.
But hold on one sec. One thing, his Nokia phone holds a signal even through the tunnels. So while he does have old tech, he has in some ways better tech. But yeah, all those Eastern Bloc countries like that have dated stuff, and phones especially. Like I said, they actually work as phones. They have cameras for cameras.
Oh, the phones were so, and I'm like, even looking at their computers, there were these huge chunky monitors and these big PC towers in their newsroom that I'm like, this is really weird. And then, but the Minister of Health had a brand new iPhone, and they all had Apple laptops. I'm like, okay, so the technology's there. People just can't get it for some reason.
The wages aren't the same either.
Oh, no way. I wouldn't guess that.
There you go.
But I think the best parts of the movie, dude, the chick that was burned, that was all throughout the documentary, she got to be a model, so I don't know what was wrong there.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but the actual footage of inside Collective when the fire occurred, best part of the documentary.
Yeah.
That was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Dude, that place looked like a tinderbox.
Yep.
I mean, God bless everyone that passed away from being there, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. If it
Had it been all in English.
had it been in English, perfect.
Yeah.
Just the subtitles that
I wanted a little bit of you to step outside of your comfort zone. That was it.
I made it. I made it all the way through.
That's all I was looking for.
Didn't give up on it.
It was better than his review for The Last Resort.
Oh, dude, that was
he
absolutely
hated
that was
that
absolutely
was
terrible.
all in English, and he hated it.
Absolutely terrible.
Exactly.
Right.
So bad. So yeah, you redeemed yourself a little on this one, even though it had
Why are
fucking
you pointing
subtitles.
at me? Me?
No, Nick.
No.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Hey, before we go on to the next review, we got our shots in here. So, Todd, you all ready to go?
Go.
All right. If you don't have a shot, pause this and go grab one. Join us. Here we go. Oh, sweet San Andreas.
Oh yeah.
Sweet sassy molassie.
All right. You got that movie from Nick, which means we're moving over to Nick, who had Ray from Todd.
Indeed.
Yes, he did. Todd said, "I'll see you telling me that I give you all black
I'll
movies.
see you jiggle jangle and I'll raise you a Ray."
And I'll give you a blacker movie." He actually prefaced it last time. He's like, "Now I know you've got this complex, but this is not what it's about."
I'm looking at my
and I'm
list
like-
from like the last month and a half, and it's like Men of Honor, Black Klansman, Ray.
Yeah, he just keeps going. He's doing it. So, yeah, I want to start out with Ray. So, I did not,
Watch it.
No. Working 11 hours a day, every day, getting home. It's dark. I'm staying at my uncle's
Pay
house.
attention.
Staying at my uncle's house. By the time I get home, my feet are killing me. I'm exhausted, and I don't have it in me to do my gentleman's pick.
Not in the mood to watch movies about black folks.
Yeah, that's what it is. And literally the only thing that goes on TV, as surprising as it is, as I've told you guys in the past, is the All Kitchen Nightmares channel that's on all the time. And
You should try
so we leave a kitchen and we come home to a kitchen nightmare.
80s
watch.
Rewind on Pluto TV. That's
No.
what you should try.
And so
I don't know why it's doing that.
so anyhow,
Somebody clip that Whoa.
I want to save my gentleman's agreement to where I can sit and focus and watch it. And what I do is I come home on Friday. I stay out there all week. I come home on Friday. And so last night I got home around 9 o'clock, 9:30, and finally laid down to watch the movie. And then I realized it was like 2 hours and 36 minutes long. And I was like, oh, mother of God. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of Ray Charles. And I'm like, okay. So
That's a lot of Ray Charles.
it's a lot of anybody. And so I sat down and watched it. And I almost don't want to give, great reviews because I feel like Todd's just going to be like, oh, this is what I'm going to keep giving him. I'm just going to keep giving him he needs this in his life. You know,
Yeah.
he's clearly so racist, and he needs all this in his life.
Yeah, you black it up a little bit more.
That's what it is. That's why, like, when you guys almost skipped over Todd earlier, I'm like, please don't, because then I'm gonna get another fucking movie. It's always gonna fall on me. But it was a fantastic movie. I really liked the acting. I love the music aspect of it. I really enjoyed.
That's why I signed it.
I really enjoyed the music aspect of it, but I don't want to say how much I enjoyed the music aspect of it to take away from the acting, because it was great. Jamie Foxx did a great job. All of them. I didn't find one actor in the movie that did not do a phenomenal job. That completely suspended disbelief. I felt like I was living it. Felt like I was watching it. My one takeaway is that Ray Charles is a shit person. He was a really shitty person. He was not an amazing guy that overcame all these things to me. He spoiler alert, he watched his brother drown and did nothing, and he did a bunch of heroin, and he was an adulterer and had children with many different women. So I mean, he did an awesome job with music.
Nick, who among us?
Yeah.
I can't say.
I mean, if everything was true, like, I was like, wow, this, I always thought Ray Charles was like this nice old man that really knew how to sing and was the nicest guy in the world, because I knew nothing about him.
Right.
The one thing I would inject, though, is I think that's the part of the main reason I assigned it was the music. I thought that you would be. Oh, I love it. That was my. I even said it. If you go back, if people listen to the last episode, I'm like, the music is why I'm assigning it, not because it's a black movie. I wanted to
just
explore
get black music and black movies. No,
but the one thing I will say, though, is ultimately I think he did overcome a lot for the fact that he was an incredibly flawed individual, and on every front. I think the one thing I did take away is if you look at the very end, I mean, the part that comes, no spoiler alert, he did change his ways, and I thought it was really interesting. He was the best version of himself, and he died relatively early because he died at like 74 years old or 68 years old or something like that. He didn't live very long based on what he did to himself and the person that he was, but I think he was a super flawed, and his flaws to be as successful as he was are pretty amazing. And the fact that his family stuck with him, and again, happy-ish ending, if not early.
I hope, I wish that, and if a couple different things. One, I hope that they followed it to the letter, and there was not a lot of literary license or artistic license to the movie just to make it interesting. And I hope they followed it to the letter, but had they not, and it was, this is the basics of what happened, and we added a couple things.
It's pretty close. I've done a little bit of the research. I wish they should do a great documentary on it. It'd make a great documentary.
I wish they would focus a little bit more for the entertainment purposes, I guess, on how he did turn his life around, because it was a very short part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was not embossed. It was not highlighted as much as I would have liked to seen it. It was very focused on, tramping around and doing a bunch of drugs and being a fuck up, and towards the end it was kind of like subtleties of him turning around, but there was no confirmation really that it was, I'm never going to go back to my ways kind of thing. It was just like, oh, I got a wife. I can't do that. And then it was like, oh, Ray Charles got all these awards, and he was welcome back to Georgia. It was never like this is official. He stopped. He's no longer doing this. So in my mind, it was like, okay, well, I don't know if he stopped his ways. The last moment that they kind of showed him having interaction with a woman that was not his wife, he was kind of like, I can't really do this anymore. But they never really officially said, like, this is the end. I'm a family man now, kind of thing. So I think it was amazing. He certainly did a lot more than I could ever overcome. with his getting glaucoma and the blindness and everything like that at such a young age. We all have our crutch to bear, and we certainly self-medicate with our own teeny, minuscule problems that we have. So for sure, for someone that, had sight and went to having no sight, that was his self-medication was that heroin that he got mixed up in, and perhaps mixing around with different women was his escape. So there were a lot of different shades of the movie and different interpretations. But I definitely liked it, and I love the music, and your heart goes out to the guy in the movie, even though he's kind of a scumbag, but you understand what he's gone through. So it was a great pick. I liked it.
Ray Charles was blind?
He was. God rest his soul.
Learn something every day.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, Corey's all about talking about the dead tonight, apparently. So
Cha-ching. I'm happy. I'm glad you liked it, man.
You were
Thank you, brother.
assigned Ray by Todd, so let's we're working our way backward here. So Todd, you had Team Foxcatcher from Cory.
I believe so.
Yeah, probably me. Sounds like. I know.
Sounds like a Cory pick.
It's a documentary, but I don't know how many times it's been given out.
I
hadn't seen it.
First time that
it was the first. It was the first time that I'd seen it, and I remember in my youth, I was young, much younger.
In your youth, you were young?
when this happened.
Got it.
And I remember it being in the news just briefly, and I also remember that there's a movie with Steve Carell. I think there's a. And I remember thinking, I should see that because I like Steve Carell, but I didn't know what it was about, and it was something to do with wrestling. So I'm going to try and do this spoiler free. And again, if you think my head's getting big, Cory knocks it out of the park again. And I don't even know if he knocked it out of the park, assigning it to me on purpose. I think that he got really, really lucky here.
Let's just say he didn't.
I think he got lucky. But he did knock it out of the park.
Sounds right to me.
I'll be dead honest.
Moving on.
I'll be dead honest on that. I wasn't. It was not for a Todd pick by any means. It was just a random pick. So
you hit a home run with your eyes closed.
All right, you don't have to rub it in, Todd. Jesus Christ, I got the point. I just admitted it. I wasn't trying to set you up for that. So let's go a little easy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, take your A and go home, man.
Yeah,
take your A.
Exactly.
I'm trying to, but you guys aren't letting me go home. Jesus.
Team Foxcatcher is something you should watch. It is something that starts out as a good story, and then your mind goes to, this could get dark in a really, really weird way, and it's going to be gross. But it actually goes really dark in a way that you can absolutely see unfold. And I said it's a movie about philanthropy, the uber rich. I think you have to call it corruption or just greed, or I don't even know what the right words are for it, but it's very topical to today. So again, it's a movie about everything. And the one thing that really stuck with me is the real parallel is if you keep praising people who are potentially mentally defective and you try to befriend them and you echo the things that they say and you let their craziness be normalized, and that person has ill temperament, really bad shit can happen. I think, again, without getting political in any way, there are huge parallels in this story, and it has nothing to do with politics. It's just about wealth and greed and privilege, and how when that and an ill-tempered and truly mental illness that's not being acknowledged all collide, really bad things can happen.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, was that the end of it?
That's it. I wanted to stop. I want to give no spoilers. Everybody should. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's not about.
Gotcha.
A lot of really cool stuff. Dave Schultz, maybe the greatest wrestler ever to wrestle in the United States. Amazing story, and like I said, I remember the news of it, but never ever really knew what happened because I was really young and wasn't paying attention to kind of what was going on that led up to it.
Gotcha. All right, so it looks like, Greg, it's down to you and me.
Yes, it is.
We got movies we assigned to each other.
Oh, boy.
So You want to go first? You want me
Sure.
to go first? All right. So you had Nightmare Alley from me.
Yes, I did.
This is the 2021 version.
Yep, that's the one I watched.
Okay.
I made sure.
Gotcha.
I was a little like slow getting into it. Basically, it's got Bradley Cooper, a bunch of other pretty well known actors that kind of like make little appearances in. It's kind of a what do you say, like a grifter,
Sure.
maybe
Yep.
snake oil salesman. No, he tries to convince people he's a clairvoyant. Gets hooked up with a psychologist. Get some information on some wealthy folk to talk to their dead children and whatnot. It was real slow to get into to start.
Yeah.
And I tried watching it last night, fell asleep about 40 minutes into it. And it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
I would say it really starts to pick up at about that hour 15-minute point, hour 25 when they start getting out of the
Into the real grift.
out of the circus and into like the real world
Yeah.
grift. I recommend if you like a little longer that psychological thriller.
I thought
type.
you'd be a Guillermo del Toro fan
I-
as a horror movie.
Yeah,
guy.
I was. That's kind of, I was waiting on that.
Or were you disappointed by? Like
I
you
don't-
knew it was a del Toro movie.
I
and you're
was
like,
waiting
"This is
for
bullshit."
No, not quite like that. It was more of the stuff that I've seen of his is a little more monster-esque movies.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was kind of waiting to see if they kind of angled that in somehow, and they didn't. But I mean, it was good. It was a C+ type movie, I guess. I don't want to like spoil everything, and just in case somebody decides to go watch it.
No,
But
it's
the
fine.
way
You
he
can-
did it, I was like, where is this going? And the psychologist is, I gotta sit here. Kate Blanchett was just amazing
Yeah.
in it. So, but if you like psychological thrillers that are a little bit longer, right up Nick's alley. Highly recommend that one.
All right. So in kind, you assigned me Brightburn,
Yes.
which I think is on Netflix. Man, look it up on justwatch.com if you don't know. But so Brightburn, it is I'm going to try to do this spoiler free. It is a modern retelling of the Superman mythos with the twist that what happens if Superman wasn't necessarily good. And so there's a lot of big name actors in this movie. Elizabeth Banks is the mom. And then the guy from The Office, the guy who played
David Denman.
Oh, they played the CEO, David?
No. Pam's original boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Roy,
yeah, was the dad. And they did a great job. Like, they're really good actors. There's a couple of other minor, like, B list actors in the movie who played minor roles, whether they're the police force or whether they were working for the school administration. But this movie was also a slow start for me. And at first I was like, okay, this seems to be kind of a formulaic thing. But I'm like, why do they have all these big name actors in this movie that seems to be like a B movie offering? But they really, the quality of the acting really saved this movie. The mom and the dad, the minor characters, they really, I didn't care much for the kid who played the Superman role. I'll just call it the Superman role. He's not Superman, but this is operating in the real
Batman?
world. No, it's operating in like the real world, but he's an anonymous figure that is just learning about his powers, right? It's like if Superman was a 12-year-old child who really didn't know what he's capable of until all of a sudden at 12 he started to learn. And in the original Christopher Reeve Superman with Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, we saw Superman as a boy learn that he was Superman. And he dealt with that in a very different way than this kid dealt with it. And this kid clearly had something wrong with him, but it all had to do with how he got to be there in the first place. And that's really all I'll say. I will say, Greg.
What's it called again?
Brightburn, Brightburn, Brightburn. I will say this movie made a big impression on me for how fucking violent it was.
What did you expect coming from Greg?
No, well, but this was but Greg and I we were just talking about the Batman last week, and he and I in fact I think he assigned me this instead of assigning me Justice League, which was like a 4-hour affair at his house and I said, hey, I'm going on vacation, and I'm like, this needs to be like, can we defer this? So he gave me Brightburn instead. But we've bonded over superheroes, but this was far more violent than most superhero movies are. And it was a like out of the blue level of violence that I did not expect, that literally took me by surprise in the same way like a horror movie would. And I don't want to give anything away about it, because of
More violent than Deadpool?
Deadpool's all
You
like
expect
CGI
violent, though, yeah.
Yeah, it's Deadpool.
So this was real violence. They didn't CGI it.
This was in a different context where I would say if you've got any interest at all in superhero films, like you're a Marvel fan, you're a DC fan, even a casual one, and you're looking for something different to watch, but you also like a little bit of horror, this is the movie for you. So I would give this a solid B. It's probably not my cup of tea. And remember when you signed it to me, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it turned out that there was a different movie I was thinking of, and this wasn't it. This was not the movie I was thinking of. So I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something to watch.
I'm going to watch it.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Before we do,
I was going to give it to you if I got you. So
before we do new assignments, we've got another, probably the last of the night shot sitting in front of us. So again, if you're new to the podcast, we've already done this a couple times, so you probably cut on. But if not, go grab yourself a shot. Doesn't matter.
These seemed ill-placed. We didn't space these out in a normal fashion.
I like to keep you on your toes, Todd Dillon. And I feel like I've done my job tonight. So now that you've got one, come join us.
Machu Picchu.
Slancha.
Great Caesar's Ghost.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Wow.
Beautiful spot. Good wine country.
Woo. All right, new assignments for next week.
I have Nick.
Reminders.
Wow.
And I have you.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Dude, how did you know that?
All right, Todd. You have white.
Hold on a minute.
By Nick.
Todd, were you fucking with me? You literally, you have Nick.
Do I really?
Yeah. I feel like I need to run this again.
Nope. Too late now.
Nick's like,
You
son
don't
of
know
a
who you
mug.
have? How could you
I'm
know
not
who you
gonna.
have?
I'm not gonna give.
I don't
I
care
have a
who I
different
have.
pick for him.
No, I don't care
I have
who
a
I
different
have.
pick for him.
All right, it's done now. Okay.
Todd, it's okay. Todd's redeemed.
I have Cory. Todd has Nick, naturally.
It just always happens that
Cory,
way. So.
Cory has Greg. Greg has me, and Nick has Todd. So, as a reminder, gentlemen, you're going to assign me something here, but I will be gone next week, so I'm going to give it in 2 weeks.
Hey, I'm gone next week.
Are you really? Oh, that's right, you are. So it's going to be the Nick and Cory show, unless special guest Greg Gumtow sits
Next week?
in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Alrighty.
Was that a here and there kind of combined together?
Wait, hold on. So
Here,
Greg's
there,
going to be here when the keg is here.
Well, of
and
course.
you're not going to be here.
Yeah, it's true.
So you guys are kind of switching places because there
Why are
were
we switching?
because last time Greg paid up and then he didn't show up because he had to go up north. And so we were able to take advantage of the keg, and I said I felt bad because Greg's not here. So he was like, yeah, it is what it is.
Drink
I
up,
look
boys.
I look at it the same
Drink
way.
up.
I look at it the same way. It is what
Right.
it is. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you my money, and if I drink or don't drink off it, it's up to me.
Well, I would hope that you would. I don't think Greg and I are going to tap it out after the one weekend.
Let's do some work.
If you do, if you do, I
Nick,
will
I'm
stand
coming
up
up
and I
over
will go.
all week.
I think we have a goal. I think we have a goal.
Well done, gentlemen. All right. I can go first unless someone really wants to.
Let me go first.
You got it.
Yes, Corey.
Who do I have?
Yeah,
Greg. Okay.
You got Greg.
All right, Todd. You have the
Yes, sir.
killing. You have the killing.
The Killing.
Yeah, it was originally a made for Netflix series.
Okay.
4 seasons, and it's available on Hulu now. And they're 50-minute episodes, so I would say
Okay.
2.5 to make up for Ray.
Can't go a half. I mean, it's up to Todd. You got to at least
I'll give it a. I'm good about
least
that.
two.
I'll
At
give it a
least
go.
Two's fine.
At
Yeah,
least
two's
2.
Fine. Yeah.
Yep, I'm on it.
All right. Corey.
Oh boy.
Have you seen Nobody?
I don't believe so.
That's what you got. Okay. Who's up? Greg.
I'm
you
ready.
got Greg. Oh, Todd's ready. You got Nick.
I do. So I'm going to change it up, but I think I'm going to wreck you, Nick, because I think you're going to love this, and you're going to have to watch the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
have you
Todd,
seen?
I just have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
One request.
Yes, sir.
Could it be a movie where they don't say the N-word 5 times?
You have
Yep.
half baked.
Okay.
Then
Sweet.
Samuel L. Jackson is not going to be in it. So.
Yeah.
Because I do get offended by that word.
Oh my God.
Surprisingly so.
I got you. I got you covered. I got you,
All
dude. Because by the way, I am actually no lie. My intent isn't any messaging as I said. I just want. If I know that as for a person who doesn't, you're equally as hard as Bob, because while you haven't seen a lot of things, you have a very specific eye, and I try and stretch your lexicon a little bit since you don't watch a lot of movies and TV. So for me,
Silver tongue.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to get things to stretch you a little bit, and also, again, take a chance. Have you seen the series Band of Brothers?
Holy
Ooh,
shit.
Wow.
Fucking great pick. Todd.
Oh, boy.
Todd, you might actually get a good review from Nick
Yeah,
this week.
I think.
He got a good review this week.
No, like a really, really good one.
Do you have a HBO subscription?
Hey, you know
No,
who-
but you lent me yours that one time. I think it's still on my TV.
Let's. You know,
Should you be saying this on the air?
I've got the Blu-rays, like the whole set at home. Like I'll drop
But is
them
it
off
on
in your.
is it on the Max thing? Because I think you gave me that one time.
Yeah, but I'm sure I fucking changed it because I'm not into giving it out permanently to anybody. So
And by the way,
I've got the set.
this is a
that I'll
walk-off
give-
Guess I
home run.
won't go back to it.
he always does.
You dumb
Keeps hitting
fuck!
me.
I've got the set that I'll give to you.
Okay, I
that you
don't-
can watch the whole thing.
Okay,
All right,
all right.
we're good.
Hey, Bob.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
He just hit
Bob.
me like twice.
I'm
Bob.
sorry, you delicate flower.
I am such
I'll
a
take that
delicate
back.
flower.
Yeah, Todd.
Home run.
he's calling it now. He's calling it shots.
Okay.
I know of it, and I'm sure it's something I would love, but I've not seen it. So yes.
I'll drop.
I've been waiting for this. This has been in my pocket for a long time. I've been waiting for this one.
Okay.
They only say the N word 4 times in a minute.
Who's left here? Greg, you got me.
I will offer the Justice League again at some point because you know you're gonna be gone this week, right?
Yeah,
But the following week.
I'll be back. Yeah.
So
So we're gonna watch at least 2 hours of the 4-hour Justice League.
yes,
So Justice.
The Snyder Cut.
Justice
Snyder
League.
cut.
Snyder cut.
And I just refilled all the candy and the popcorn.
Well, of course
So
you did.
he come over yet?
Part
No.
Not yet.
Nope.
1.
You guys keep talking about it, but
Well, we're setting up right
I'm
now.
actually excited about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to do the movie thing
perfect.
because I know how much he loves movies.
Yeah, I
and-
just didn't have 4 hours last week, and so
Yeah.
he assigned.
No,
this
I know,
other-
but you
other
guys
movie.
are always like teasing, and he's like, "Yeah, when,
No,
when
would-
I get the theater done, you'll come over."
I can't wait to watch in the theater, dude. Okay. Which leaves Greg. So
I have Greg.
yeah, you do.
Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
Yep.
Low hanging fruit.
Now you know how it feels.
Sometimes you got to get rid of that low hanging fruit to get off your list. That's what I did last week.
Have you seen Heist on Netflix?
What year?
I don't know.
There's probably several
Yeah, I think
movies
there's
called
a lot of
Heists.
heists. Yeah.
It's the whatever the newest one is.
No, look it up. Do your fucking.
He's looking it up right now.
Do your fucking. No, why is he?
Netflix?
Why are you making him look it up? You're assigning it to him.
Fuck
No,
you.
no, he's going to
Fuck
watch
you.
the one he wants.
Hang on. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I did the same thing to Nick. I asked him
What?
the exact same question, and you said I could not.
What? Could not what?
I said, what year was it, or basically tell me what. Am I looking for the right movie? And you're
Get
like,
your story straight, Cory.
No,
What movie are you talking
Hold
about?
on.
The Last Resort?
So hold on. Wait.
Hold on. I got the answer to this. Go ahead.
The confusion is what Cory said was,
Yeah.
give me a synopsis of what the movie's about. And I said, no, you have to watch it. He didn't ask the year. He said, what is this? What is the movie about? Give me a quick synopsis of what it's about. And I said, I'm not going to give you a synopsis.
I said, what's the premise of the movie?
Yeah. And I said, no.
Which movie are we talking about?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does,
What he's talking about, you guys you're talking about year, and that's not what happened. We were talking about. He said, give me a quick intro of what the movie's about. I said, I'm not going to give you that. I said, you have to watch it. So a year is different. So I agree and disagree with both of you.
Because I was looking for the exact same thing. Like, give me a year then, basically, is what I was asking you for.
That's fine.
So I
I
could
have
try
no
to find
problem
it.
with giving you a year.
So Nick didn't do his homework on the movie, but I also couldn't ask the question. So
my rebuttal to that is this was for The Last Resort, which I had already been assigned.
Correct.
And you had already looked up, so I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Fuck
count.
you!
He asked for a synopsis. He didn't ask for the year.
Of a movie he'd already looked up about, and he lorded over us going like, no, this is the one you guys want.
I didn't know. No,
So
Yes, you did.
during the podcast, you looked it up and you go, okay, I see it.
When
see
it was
right here.
assigned to me.
You say 2019. And then you asked me again and you said, which one do I have to
Oh,
watch?
yeah, because there were several of them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It
you
was
cleared
confusing.
it up for all of us for which one I should be getting.
No, not
And yes,
you.
Yes.
No, it had nothing to do
Yes.
with you.
Yeah, because I was assigned that movie.
He had watched it the week before.
Right. Well, not the week before, but before then.
Yeah.
This
You
was
had looked-
37
you had looked it up.
seconds of craziness.
But the crazy part is that the movie you hated and the movie you loved
Yeah.
was the movie Mike was the caterer for. He was the caterer for that whole fucking movie.
I don't know how crazy that is.
What the fuck are you guys even talking about now?
Pretty fucking crazy, I think.
I don't know. Holy shit.
Good night, everybody.
I know. I'm like,
So what did Greg get?
The Heist.
No,
it's just
Heist.
called Heist.
Heist.
I got it.
Just Heist.
So we just want to know the year.
2021.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's what we.
It's on Netflix.
congratulations. Holy cow. That was painful.
Oh, painful. I mean, that implies a lot of pain and anxiety.
Oh, Cory,
and
by
Dude,
the way, like
general
you guys-
malaise.
Corey, by the way, like I told Bob when he watched that movie, the one that you hated and the one he liked, was that the funniest part about it was that Mike was like, oh yeah, the fucking hot Russian woman in the fucking movie. He was like, oh, I've in one of my phones, I've still got her number. We used to text back and forth, and I might just turn it on and see what's going on. I'm like,
He's
dude,
such a
this is-
fucking
come on.
jackass.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I also don't think she was that hot. So Mike can.
she was. Maybe it was the accent, but I thought she was kind of fucking hot at the time.
It's also Mike. So
It is also Mike.
And she's like almost 50 now. No, I'm just joking. She's like way over 50 now.
Go fuck yourself, man.
also she's even older.
Yeah, she's even older.
Some people hit their prime when they get to 50.
Others don't.
That may be true. Fuck you, dude.
Well, if these two 30-something knuckleheads are in their prime, God help us all.
On that note, that's Schnozzcast for this week. On behalf of Cory and Nick and Todd and special guest Greg Gumtow, this is Bob saying goodbye. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.